Welcome back to the Tiger Sports Show, where we try to keep you updated on everything that's happening in Hastings High athletics. It's a big week as fall sports start coming down to conference, district, and even state competition. We'll start out at the softball diamonds at the Smith Complex, where the Tigers swept the best of three series from the Blair Bears in the district championship. The Tigers run-ruled the Bears in the first game, 4-2 behind 6 RBI from sophomore Kalen Schmidt. Then the second game was much more competitive. After the Bears had tied the game in the sixth inning 3-3, freshman Sammy Schmidt came up and hit her second home run of the day to give the Tigers a 4-3 win. Ellie Douglas got both wins on the mound for the Tigers. Also, the Tigers will be heading to state competition this Wednesday, which of course will again be hosted in Hastings. They host the Wayne Blue Devils in a 9 a.m. game Wednesday. Wayne is led by Division I recruit and all-state pitcher Tori Kanishi. Last year, the Devils were 35-0 and Class C state champions, so they have a lot of experience in the state tournament. But this year, they move up to Class B to challenge the Tigers and the rest of the field. It's the Tigers' fifth straight appearance at the state tournament, and again, it'll be out at the Smith Complex. Also competing at the state level this week will be the boys' tennis team. Coach Sunderman and the boys head to Lincoln for the Class B state meet on Thursday morning. 3 of the 4 Tiger entries are seeded. At number 1 singles, Landon Powers got the number 8 seed. At number 2 singles, Braden Schramm got the number 6 seed. And then the Tigers' top seeded group is the number 2 doubles team of Aiden Kusick and Jose Nerezi. After their 22-6 season, which included a Greater Nebraska Conference Championship, they'll be seeded 5th. The Tiger boys will be trying to move into the top 10. Last year, they finished 14th in Class B, so we'll see how that goes. A season that's moving forward for the Tigers but isn't to district or state time yet is volleyball. It was a big week last week for Coach Hepner and the girls. On Thursday, they went over to Aurora and beat the top 10 ranked Huskies 3-1. That was a great win for the Tigers, who've been rated about number 6 or number 7 in the state in the last few weeks. It was especially a big win because of some disappointment Tuesday night. On Tuesday night, Coach Hepner and the Tigers headed to Beatrice and split a triangular. They beat the host Orangemen, but lost to Grand Island Northwest 2-0 in the first game. There's a little more of a story behind it than just volleyball. The Tigers bus broke down on the way. They spent about an hour in Henderson waiting for a replacement bus. When they got to Beatrice, they were hurried onto the court by referees. Coach Hepner said they really didn't ever recover for that first game with Northwest. Both Northwest and Aurora will be in the Tigers sub-district here pretty soon, which we think Hastings will get to host. So hopefully we'll get a chance to correct that score against the Northwest Vikings. This week, another big week for the volleyball Tigers, because they host number 3 in the state, Norris, on Thursday night in the Tiger Gym. So come out and support the girls. And then on Saturday, they'll head to McCook for the GNAC Conference Tournament. The volleyball team will be looking for the first conference championship since 1980, when the girls won the East Division of the old Big Ten, and really the first outright conference championship in school history. In girls golf, it's state tournament as we're taping. Natalie Brand is competing as an individual at the Class B golf meet in Columbus. Hopefully by the end of the show, we'll have some results on Natalie. All we know for now is it's a beautiful day to be out golfing in Columbus. Cross country last week moved their conference meet up because of the weather at the end of last week, and they ran on Wednesday in North Platte. The girls team was team champions for the second straight year, led by Chelsea Espinoza, who was individual champion for the second straight year, and Mary Ferrone, who finished 9th. The boys team finished 3rd. Jaden Welsh finished just a half second from repeating as conference champion in 2nd, and Jonathan Lopez also finished in the top 10, finishing 9th. Both those teams will run Thursday at Norris High School in district competition to try to qualify as both individuals and teams for the state meet in Kearney in a couple weeks. All right, now we're going to go to our schedule for next week. Then we'll come back and talk about football, and we'll lead into our double game of the week. We got a doubleheader on games of the week. Looking at the Tiger calendar, on Tuesday, October 15th, it's state golf in Columbus, and I've got an update right now. Natalie Brandt is competing individually for the Tigers. She shot a 103 on the first day, tied for 38th, so she's really working on fighting her way to the top half of the field. On Thursday, it's more state competition as the Tiger softballers open up with Wayne at state softball here in Hastings, and the tennis team heads to Lincoln for state. Also, the volleyball team will be hosting top 10 ranked Norris at home. Friday means the state championship games at state softball here in Hastings, and of course, Friday also means football. The Tigers will be hosting Beatrice at Hastings College at 7 p.m. State tennis will be in the second day, and hopefully we'll have some boys bringing home medals. On Saturday, we've got a big one as the Tiger volleyball team heads to McCook, looking for their first ever conference championship in the GNAC volleyball tournament. All right, we're back after looking at next week's schedule. Let's talk a little bit about last Friday night when the Tigers traveled to Seward and picked up a big 24-14 win against the Blue Jays. My co-host and brother, Trent, is here. Trent, you were at the game. What'd you see?
Yeah, the boys talked me into going. It was a last-second decision. I was glad I went. It was cold. It was very cold for October standards. But I was curious to see how each team would respond to the weather. Being a more finesse, we're a passing team, so you thought we would have trouble. But
and Seward is kind of big boys run right at you, right?
They do run right at you, and they did it. They did run right at us. The game started out just a little. Well, it started out great for us. They fumbled the opening kickoff. We got it. And went right down the field and scored.
That would be a 12-yard touchdown pass from Jared Sinek to Brandon Calvage.
Calvage, yeah. And he had to roll out. It was he bought some time and found him streaking across the side of the end zone all alone. We felt we had an advantage passing, and we did.
This time of year, you would hope, that receivers and quarterbacks start to make plays like that. They've been playing together long enough. That's great.
Yeah, and we had 7 Tigers that caught 18 passes on the night. So it just keeps our balance. Didn't get to run the ball as much. They're big up the middle. They forced us to try to go outside. It was tough. The Tigers saw some adversity the first time. Seward struck with 2 quick touchdowns following our score, and they had a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, at home I was a little worried there because those 2 scores came quick.
Yeah, they came quick, and the kid had 166 yards in the first half. The Tigers put together a pretty good drive at the end of the first quarter. Picked up a huge 3rd down and 22 with a catch to Widener, Zaid Widener. Several times they forgot where our guys were, and we were wide open. That leads to a field goal by Briar Menke.
24-yarder.
Yeah.
Again, Briar's been very consistent in the kicking department. That's exciting.
That's a standard for the Menke family because they've always kicked.
Yeah, seems like we've had some brothers who kicked.
Big brother Brady, I know, is happy in California with the way little brother's kicking.
Maybe he's watching the show this week.
Yeah, he might be.
Brady, if you're watching the show, let us know.
Next week, I think I'll wear my arm sleeve to pay honor to the great Brady Menke. So,
all right.
Side joke, I know Brady for a long time.
Yeah.
We get down. Teams sort of go back and forth. Very limited possessions in this game. So the Tigers... the one thing, it was just funny. Seward would move the ball with the big running back and just run it right at us. They would get to a certain point on the field, usually in our territory, and they would forget to give him the ball.
Huh.
And the Tiger fans that were there, we were not sad to see that because he was running through us, around us, and over us.
Well, the text messages I was getting during the game said, bend but don't break defense.
Yes.
They gave up some yards.
That's what we were doing.
Didn't give up a lot of points. Okay, so after the field goal, we're still down 14-10. Yeah. But late in the first half...
Well, the Tigers get the ball back.
Has to be the Shoemaker touchdown,
yeah,
right?
The Tigers get the ball back just before half. They got a good stop on a 4th and 6 play, held him 2 yards short. We finally got a body on that guy. Like the fans were saying in the stands, you couldn't just get a glancing blow on this kid. You had to hit him. The Tigers didn't make quick
That's
work.
kind of good. I mean, Scotts Bluff challenged us physically. That's the only loss of the year, so it's kind of good to have been challenged physically again and stood up to it.
And we did, and we get better as the game goes along. The Tigers got the quick score right before half.
Carson Shoemaker, 17-yard TD pass from Jared Sinek.
This one, Carson Little Shoe starts on the right side, takes his receiver all the way across the field to the left. That kid can't keep with Carson. Carson's got a little juice in his shoes, and he catches it in the corner. So the Tigers led 17-14 at half. They sort of changed. We gave up possessions. Possessions again were limited in the second half. They traded possessions, and then the Tigers go on a huge drive with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Again, Seward did a great job of putting us in difficult positions. The Tigers faced a 3rd and 26, which in football terms means 3rd and a country mile. You're staring at a long ways to get it.
There's not a lot of usually good play calls on your sheet for 3rd and 26.
No, so the Sinek does a great job of buying time. But the weirdest thing is they doubled some of our receivers. Carson Shoemaker, Little Shoe for one. They double him. That's going to leave guys open. He finds Trevor Sullivan all alone at the 10-yard line. Trevor bobbles it, snags it, walks into the end zone.
53-yard touchdown pass.
53 on 3rd and 26.
How many receivers did you say Sinek hit for the day?
Seven different players caught 18 passes.
That's pretty good. You know what they used to call Dave Hum back in the 70s for Nebraska?
No.
The dealer.
The dealer.
Maybe that should be Jared.
Sinek was dealing.
Now, Dave was from Vegas, so that was part of it.
That's why.
We still might. We might push that nickname. Maybe we'll push that
should.
Nickname. All right.
Sinek finished the night with 3 touchdown passes for 264 yards. Tigers were unable to run the ball much.
Well, and they shut out Seward in second half, so who kind of were the defensive?
Oh, the Tigers, they started to take charge in the second half and pretty much owned the second half. Evan Marrera led the team with 10 tackles. Zaid Widener, who was beat up all night, he had 10 tackles, and we forced 2 huge turnovers that we forced turned the one into points right at the start. Tiger pressure got to the quarterback. The Seward starter was knocked out of the game, which was a big blow for them. We send our prayers and our well wishes to that kid because he's a great competitor, and he didn't look very good for a while. But then we got pressure on the backup quarterback, made his life tough, and the Tigers ended up finishing out the game with defense.
24-14 win, 6-1 on the year, 2 games to go.
Yep.
Home games.
Yeah, 2 home games. We played Beatrice this week. Beatrice got into a big fight with Crete. They ended up coming out on top.
It's a good win.
We need to have the Tiger fans all show up on Friday night. It's supposed to be a great night. Unlike last week, Tigers are sitting 6th in the wild card and 6th in the ratings. Like Coach Chu says, we're going out to go 1-0 this week and get the dub.
All right. Well, and those who can't make it out to the game can watch on Strive.com Sports, and the Tiger Sports crew may be on the air.
Okay.
Yeah, we may be. We'll see how that goes. All right, another big win for football. That's going to be one of our games of the week. We're going to cut away here. We may have a Tiger of the Week. It's kind of the mystery of video here, whether we're going to have a Tiger of the Week award. If we do or don't, then we'll follow it with 2 games of the week. We're going to watch that great 4-3 softball district championship game win by the Tigers. You can watch the big Sammy Schmidt home runs. And then we're going to watch the Tiger football game at Seward. So 2 games of the week this week.
Sammy's second home run was really big because they tied the game in the bottom of the 6th inning. It looked like extra innings. The defense stepped up at the end and made some great plays, and here we go for State. State's fun.
That's clutch. Yep. All right. So it's a fun time of the year. Hope everybody's looking forward to that. Let's go to maybe the Tiger of the Week, but definitely the games of the week.